could have taken him to a street side and could have got him some wache and a boiled egg. They could have got him some indome noodles, some kenke. I mean, he could have got something on the street if he was that, you know, hungry that he wanted the food that quick. Now, of course, you have to be. I watched a video on TikTok and by Tanika B, and she had this to say about Black Americans traveling to Ghana. And listening to this video, I totally agree with everything that she has to say. So let's see what she has to say.
I am a Black American and I absolutely love to travel to the continent of Africa. It's my favorite continent in the whole wide world. But one of my biggest fears is that the more Black Americans come to this continent, they will not handle it with grace and with care. So, for example, I am in Ghana right now and I'm getting messages and people are sending me texts of people who had a bad experience at a festival, or like all two people who got their phone stolen. And people are like, oh my God, I'm afraid, I can't come. They don't have their stuff together, this, that. And I'm like, that is their experience. It's not my job to negate or validate somebody's personal experience. That is what happened to them. But I just wish more Black Americans handled the systems that they think need to be in place with more care, understanding the historical context for why those conditions actually exist. And also understand that negative news about the continent literally drives people's internalized fear that Africa is inherently bad, and it literally feeds stereotypes. I'm not telling people how they should feel. I'm just saying that as Black Americans, with all your Western ideology and our privilege and our internalized challenges with the continent already, let's make sure we handle it with more care and more grace.
She's definitely absolutely right in everything that she's saying. A lot of times when you get outsiders coming into a country, if they don't respect the culture, respect the country, respect the people, then of course they're going to abuse it and they're going to take advantage of the opportunities there, and they're really not going to they're going to start doing things in the betterment of themselves, not in the betterment of the country or in the betterment of the people. And that is always going to be a problem. When you bring Western mentality and when you bring superiority to Ghana, of course it's going to change it. It's going to change the tone of it. It's going to change the experience. It's going to change everything, because you're trying to mix your beliefs with their beliefs, and that's not something that you should want to do if you genuinely want to experience the culture, the people, and the country. Now, Meek Mill found himself in hot water when he shot a video at the Jubilee House in Ghana. The Jubilee House is the equivalent to the White House in the United States of America. When he shot the video and showed the video, when the video was shown on social media, the Ghanaians were very upset, as they should be. I showed the video to my husband. He was livid. He was just as upset as all the other Ghanaians that were on social media expressing their strong dislike for that video being shot at the Jubilee House. Now, there is definitely two to blame here. Blaming Meek Mill for having the audacity to ask to shoot a video in the presidential office, and of course whoever gave him the okay to do so. There's twofold here to blame here. But I'm going to concentrate on Meek Mill because he is, of course, a foreigner coming into Ghana asking to shoot a video at the presidential office, a request that he would never have asked Joe Biden, a request that he never would have asked any other president in any other country. He would not have asked that question. So my question is, why did he think that it was a good idea for him to, number one, ask to shoot a video in the presidential office and actually follow through with shooting the video in the presidential office? That definitely is very Western mentality, a type of situation going on, a superiority complex going on as well, because you're saying to the people of Ghana that you don't respect their government, you don't respect their country, you don't respect their culture, you don't respect anything that they could offer you, because the only thing that you want to do is you're going to show some clout that you're able to shoot a video in the highest office in Ghana. And that definitely is not a mentality that you should be bringing to Ghana. Now, Meek Mill has long since apologized for that video, but I'm still stuck on the fact that he even had the audacity to ask to begin with. That type of mentality is a type of mentality that should not be carried over into Ghana. Also, that was mentioned in the Tanika B TikTok video was just basically showing negative of Ghana and really trying to hone in on the negative things that can happen in Ghana, just like there could be negative things that happens anywhere in the world. But a lot of times black celebrities, they are taking it twofold. They're making it into something bigger than what it is. Now, Meek Mill, when he traveled to Ghana, his phone was stolen, and so he made this huge thing on Twitter, was talking about that a Ghanaian person stole his phone. Now, we all know that it had nothing to do with him being in Ghana for the reason why his phone was stolen. He could have been anywhere and his phone could have been stolen. He could have been in the United States. He could have been in China. He could have been in Japan. He could have been in France. He could have been in Italy. He could have been in any country in the world and got his phone stolen, simply because, number one, he probably had it in a place for it to be stolen to begin with, and number two, he is a celebrity. So that is definitely going to bound to happen. But he made it seem as if, you know, this thievery that supposedly happened in Ghana is almost like it's something that commonly happens. And so then people are going to again have this negative stereotypical mindset that when you go to Ghana, you're going to have to fear for your phones getting stolen, you're going to have to fear for your bags getting stolen, when you really need to be vigilant in anywhere you go. When I go home to the United States of America, I'm vigilant with my belongings. When I go to Ghana, I'm still vigilant when it comes to my belongings as well, because people steal everywhere. It's just not in Ghana that those things happen. And so to concentrate on that negative aspect of Ghana as if that's what Ghana is, it's not something that you should be doing if you are really trying to love the country like you say that you're trying to love the country, or you're trying to you know, build the country up like you claim to build the country up. Now, Charlemagne the God, he did an interview on his experience in Ghana, and he talked about how wonderful it was, and the last thing he talked about was the so-called, you know, bad service that he received when he went to a restaurant. Now, we all know that when you go to Ghana, depending on where you go, you might have to wait, and that's because a lot of places are made to order places. It's not like in the United States of America where they're going to be putting frozen food into the oven or to, you know, somewhere and warming it up. I mean, there are some restaurants in Ghana where literally you are getting fresh food made like right there. Most of the restaurants are like that. So that should have been something that he could have asked somebody how long it was going to be. The restaurant could have done a better job as far as, you know, letting him know, hey, this is a made to order restaurant. Could have told him up front, and then he would have had the option to eat somewhere else. But to make it known that the customer service is bad and not really being specific as far as where he ate, what time he ate, what did he order, because all of that comes into play when you're eating at a restaurant. I have eaten at plenty restaurants in Ghana and have always had a good experience as far as the customer service. The food came out fresh, the food came out in a timely manner. But I've also gone to a restaurant in Ghana where the customer service was not all that great. There was one restaurant that we went to over the summer that they did not even see about us. Like, we were sitting at the table, they barely gave us any menus, they did not ask if we wanted anything to drink. That, you know, they were just on their phones. Obviously they didn't want anybody eating at that restaurant, so we left. But that was that particular restaurant, and I can't even remember what the name of that restaurant is. But when we've gone to other restaurants in Ghana, we've had great customer service. The food has came on time. Like I said, there has been a time that I have gone to a restaurant where the food has taken a little longer, and that is because the party was bigger, and that's because of what people were ordering. So you have to take into consideration a lot of factors that could have went into for the reason why the food took a very long time to come out. And my thing is, if you didn't want to wait, then whoever he was with could have taken him to a street side and could have got him some wache and a boiled egg. They could have got him some indomie noodles, some kenkey. I mean, he could have got something on the street if he was that, you know, hungry that he wanted the food that quick. Now, of course, you have to be careful where you eat at on the street. You definitely don't want to be sick because you're not used to eating the food. But if he was that pressed for time, then they could have taken him out on the street side and got him some fast food. And then he would have been able to experience another side of Ghana that he would not have experienced, of course, sitting in a restaurant. Then you have Chance the Rapper, who of course is becoming or is an activist for the LGBTQ in Ghana, and that was, you know, somewhat of him putting on this Black Star Line Festival. And my thing for that is, why does Ghana need him to be an activist for the LGBTQ community? Why is that something that they can't take care of for themselves? Again, being in an area and being in a situation that to me doesn't really concern you, considering that in the United States of America, we don't want people coming into our country trying to tell us how to run our business. However, the Westerners always seem like it's their business to go to the countries in Africa and tell them how to handle their affairs, tell them what fights they need to be fighting. And, you know, again, that's that superiority complex, that's that Western mentality that really does will tarnish the country and also will tarnish the experience. Now, with the girls trip coming to Ghana, if she decides to film that movie in Ghana, if you've ever seen Girls Trip, there is a lot of vulgarity all through that movie. And so that's something else when you're going to Ghana. I feel like that Western mentality, that superiority attitude, you're coming to a country where Ghana is predominantly conservative. If you've gone to Ghana and you really looked around at the people and how they dress and how they act, it's a conservative country, you know, mostly. And so when you have a movie like Girls Trip that is definitely nothing conservative about it, like I said, it's very vulgar, and you're bringing it into this country, my question is, what changes are you going to make to that movie to make sure that it is adhering to the beliefs and customs and values of the people in Ghana? Or are you going to bring that vulgarity to a country where you don't really see that? You don't really see that on a day-to-day basis. And I'm not saying that it's not there. I'm just saying that it's not like all up in your face. So if that's the case and you're bringing a movie to a country like Ghana, hopefully there's going to be changes made to be respectful. I sure hope that the writer and the director does that, and they're not trying to bring in that type of mentality and that type of values and those types of belief into a country where that's not. It's almost as if they're doing that to try to change it, to try to be like, these are the beliefs and values that we deem to be important here in the United States of America, and now you all should also deem these to be important and valuable as well. And you just can't do that. You cannot go to another country telling them how to live their lives, or, you know, how to do this and how to do that, because in the United States of America, that is something that nobody is going to allow you to do. You're not going to be able to come to the United States of America and tell them how to do things. So I do think that it's great that Black celebrities and Black Americans are traveling to Ghana and they're experiencing Ghana. I do hope that they are taking that and they're actually, you know, embracing the experience and embracing the culture and embracing the people, and not trying to go over there trying to change it and trying to take advantage of the opportunities, and then they're leaving there with nothing. And that's kind of what I see happening. And really the main thing, why a lot of Black celebrities and a lot of Black Americans are traveling to Ghana, because the money goes really far in Ghana. And that's why I feel like Meek Mill was able to shoot his video in Ghana, because his money was speaking. His money was speaking volume, and his money was speaking like, yes, this money, with the money that I have, I'm able to do that. And so black celebrities then are able to go to Ghana, and they're able to be put on this pedestal because their money is going far. And where their money goes far in Ghana, it's not going very far in the United States of America. It's not going to go far in any other country. But in Ghana, it's going to reach far. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, to be honest, when I go to Ghana, I feel like I'm balling because the money that I have stretches far there. So I'm able to get, you know, a lot more things, and I'm able to go out to eat, and I'm able to get, you know, nice things and things in Ghana because my money is going far. But that doesn't mean anything. And so I think that's really what I'm seeing with the black celebrities now, is that they see that money. They see that when they go over there, they're able to build these homes. They're able to start, you know, to give to these businesses. They're able to get a lot more respect. They're able to get a lot more done. People are actually listening and paying attention to them because that money is speaking in Ghana. And so they know that. They see that, and they're taking advantage of that opportunity. But at the same time, they're leaving with nothing. They're not leaving with an experience. They're not leaving with really understanding the culture. They're not leaving with really understanding the people. They're not leaving to really gaining a love for the country outside of these social events that they are, you know, being a part of, these festivals that they're being a part of. There is more to Ghana than Accra. There's more to Ghana than the hotels and the shops and the restaurants in, you know, in the tourist area. There is so much more to Ghana than that, when you go there, you have to explore that in order to really get the full effect of how beautiful this country is. And I just don't think a lot of these black celebrities are seeing that and are taking advantage of that. Now, before I end this video, I have to say this. I don't remember where I saw it on a video where somebody said it was a black celebrity or saying that they had went to the strip club in Ghana. And when I read that, I was just like, of all places to go in Ghana, you decide to go to a strip club. With all of the cultural things you could have experienced in Ghana, you decide to go to a strip club. Western mentality, superiority attitude, where you are in a country in Africa and you could go anywhere to discover whatever, and you decide to go to a strip club. That's what I'm talking about. That type of behavior does not need to be carried over into Ghana. That's the type of behavior that needs to be left in the United States of America. So I mean, I am a little surprised that Ghana has strip clubs, but of course I wouldn't be in an area where I would be seeing a strip club in Ghana. But I'm, you know, but to me, if you are a black American and you're going to United States, and you know you're going to Ghana, the strip club is the last thing that you should be going to. I mean, a strip club is a strip club. The only difference is it's probably Ghanaian women stripping there instead of American women, but it doesn't change the fact that it's a strip club. So it's like stuff like that. You know, those are the type of things that you really need to leave behind. You really need to come to Ghana to really explore the country, to really see, you know, where our ancestors could have been, where they could have stepped foot, and the history that it has, because it has a lot of history. And there's a lot of tourist areas outside of Accra that you definitely need to experience in order to get the whole experience of Ghana. And so I definitely agree with Tanika B as far as the ideologies, the beliefs, the values that the black celebrities are bringing with them from the United States of America really needs to stop on the plane. They don't even need to, it doesn't even need to come past the plane and get into that country, because you're going to lose the experience. You're going to lose it, and you're going to walk away with nothing. I am Michelle Mazellegh. This is my opinion. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.